Hello, 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 and welcome back to another trek through the dungeon. Here's the continuing adventures of Jub Jub as he treks through the dungeon. Well, last we left off, I had pushed down all the way to how far had I gotten? D16, found the earliest vault, and retreated in shame and peril because, well, vaults are proving really, really dangerous. Like really, really dangerous. Really, 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 really dangerous. And I found a shield and realized, oh, I could actually train large shields. That's not a bad idea, or any shields for that matter. I'm pretty sure the required shields training for a ogre is less than for an equivalent humanoid. In fact, let me Google this point just to be certain, but I'm fairly certain that that's the case. Crawl wiki shield. Shields. Blah 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 blah. Shield penalty. Your shield is a shield EV penalty. Large ogre troll size factor -2. Yeah, this is getting complicated. If you're wearing a 0 EVP armor, you need less shield skill to eliminate just the casting penalties. That's not what I'm looking for, because I am wearing a not 0 EVP armor. Wearing model dragon, so that's up to 1. But shield will take roughly 6.51, maybe 7-ish? I don't know. Let's find out. Penalty for using plus 25% shield. If you're wearing a shield while wielding a one-handed weapon and your shield penalty is greater than 0, the game throws 2 dice. No, that's not what I'm looking for. Shield is shield EV penalty minus shield. No. Come on, why is this not an easy thing to look up? There should just be a giant bolded number that says this very clearly. I mean, ultimately, that's what people are looking for when they do this, right? I don't care about the blocking value. I just want to know how high I need to train this. Okay, clearly I don't remember where to look. The magic number 9 seems to be in my head. Clearly, ogres and trolls are not getting are getting a reasonable bonus, I should say, off of what a normal race would have to do, or a Spriggan would have to do to wear a shield. Well, I guess a Spriggan isn't even allowed to. At 6.51, let's just assume that that goes up to 7 or 8 with adequate armor. My armor is already trained, so it's shield time. A -1 penalty is actually one of my better penalties as an ogre. So yeah, let's do this thing. Okay, as in let's do this thing. There we go. So last vid I had said what I need is another place to get experience while I train this. And so naturally I turned towards the lair, because Freezing Cloud is going to be basically uncastable for the duration of training shields. And that's just not going to fly in a place like, well, anywhere really, but it's definitely not going to fly in the vaults. So off to the swamp. Resist poison is activated. That should cover me against most kinds of attacks. The presence of meaty creatures means that I can still use Orb of Destruction. Oh, I can't use Orb of Destruction because it's also beyond usage. At least I carried some food with me. Okay, I don't have an elect resist. That damn near killed me already once. The lack of an elect resist, not that particular attack. We're gonna attempt a single freezing cloud at this distance, and if it succeeds, which it did, we'll just make sure that the Hydra is set up to die. Or it could dodge all of the attacks that were designed to kill it. That works too. What I wouldn't give to be able to hit that guy with the, you know, ice cloud. Set up fire en route between me and the Hydra. Okay, got him. What did that do to the spellcasting penalties? Dropped it 10%. 10% from one level of training. I call that worth it, especially since that has given me a new means of defense, which I did not heretofore have anything for. It gave me a shield slot. And given how much I've been complaining about the lack of defense on this character, yeah. So far so good. So far so good. God, what I wouldn't give for Poison Arrow. Other appropriately good spells. Finish the Rotting Hydra Flesh. Pick up some Rotting Giant Leech, or Brown Giant Leech Flesh. Still 30%. It's quite a high fail rate. Don't want to fight alligators in water. So let us attempt to get a freezing cloud up. We did, great. Fight them inside the cloud is always preferable. Pretty sure they're supposed to be cold-blooded though, so it's kind of disturbing that they're not getting cold-blooded despite literally standing inside a cloud of cold. And for those of you who don't know what I'm talking about, cold-blooded creatures get slowed down after being hit by ice attacks often. I don't know if it's guaranteed or not, but still. Shield draining of 2 has brought my fail down from 40 to 20%. So, very nice. I thought for a second it said the alligator has drowned, which would have been hilarious. They're very effective swimmers after all. Not really worried about either of these guys, but would love them to cluster up for me a little bit, so that I can do this. The alligator coming in from behind me is of marginal concern. Let us confuse it. And then back off. And we're going to need to set another freezing cloud into play. Confuse. And that should do the trick. Drop a freezing cloud. That was a failed attempt, which means I won't be able to get a fire up in time, so just back off. We'll attempt a freezing cloud here. 2.6 shields. Alright, so the only things that even are kind of uncastable now are the 2 top tier spells, which is to be expected. Well, top tier that I own, not top tier in the game or anything. Like that. And we will continue to train shields to improve that status. There's no point doing Volts first at this point, since I tend to do Volts first because I'm powerful enough to handle it, and I would rather get more experience faster than less experience. English. Doing the Volts will get you experience. Will make you kill high experience enemies. If you can do that when you're at a lower experience level in the game, it means more to you for each enemy you kill, versus doing the lair branches, which then when you come back to it's like, well, I'm already level 20, so this whole branch is trivial. But I'm not trying to go faster, I'm trying to go safer, and this is the safest way to do it. What was I about to do? I forgot, but it had something in mind. Ah, yes. Flight is on the wrong letter. It should be K, which I guess is going to put Freezing Cloud on G, which will take some getting used to. I anticipate a couple attempts to fly that will not pan out. Or a couple attempts to freeze that will instead turn into flights before I get used to it. Gather up his flesh. What are the unknown rings that this might be? Oh, there's too big a list to even know, and it's probably not valuable. Try it on and then take it off. Alright, and take it off. Incidentally, without wizardry, I am still totally unable to spellcast. So, still got a lot of experience gaining to go before I can get back to my old place. Though I must say, I am really grateful that for once, my attempts to become more defensive and my attempts to become more offensive are perfectly in alignment. The more I train shields, the better my shield ability becomes, and armor, and the better those abilities become, the better my spellcasting fail becomes. So I'm getting a 2-for-1 deal at the old corral. Okay, now that I see enemies on screen, I told you I would accidentally fly at some point. Let's make sure that they all freeze to death. Intelligence, of course. I remember when a single green slime sent me crying for half a floor because I only had tier 1 spells. I kind of want to take that body with me, so grab it, and then we'll get out of here. That way I can eat it. Over the inevitable course of the long wait while all my health comes back. And when did my health become 193? Must have been the level up. Like I said, now that you get a multiplicative effect between fighting skill and total HP gain. So now that my fighting skill is stable at about 20, and every level up is massively improving my total health, which is already pretty awesome. Like, for a caster, 100 health is max level to fighting for me. It is what I'm used to. So this is just insane. Hell, my first win was with a cat, and that cat was getting, what was it? I think 70-ish health as its max health at the end of it all. Yeah. Let's go ahead and grab the remainder of the Drake flesh. I am glad that it's not automatically trying to pick up all chunks. It is saving me a buttload of time. Because you do that, what happens is you fill up on the first chunk set that you get, so you never pick up the fresher ones. You never eat all 7, but you're always overweight. Let's fire a freeze cloud in your direction. And a freeze cloud in your direction. Now that you guys are here, freeze cloud to kill you both. Bolt trap. I really should put a few points into traps and doors when experience becomes cheaper. And it's pretty close to that point. I mean, after I'm done with leveling shields and armor, it's going to probably be the most cost-efficient expenditure to get 3 levels or 4 levels in traps and doors. So just so I have a fighting chance. I'm not saying I want to guarantee safety from traps, but just so I have a fighting chance to avoid the purely unnecessary ones. You know what? I should have a wand of draining somewhere. Why don't you go ahead and throw that in the lake for me? Okay, or throw that past the lake. It's all good. Nothing here has hands unless they spawn a unique, so I should be okay. And if I get drained once or twice by a unique, and that's the worst that happens, I think I'll be okay. Right. Worm. We'll just axe this guy. Gotta remember I can do that still. What is my attack speed, by the way? Quite slow. That's not that bad. But yeah, because of the shield, it's gonna take, this training is gonna work to improve the attack speed as well. So basically, if you're switching to using a shield, it's worth your while to train shield. Everything gets helped. Drop the... No, just eat the lemon. Oh, you can't stomach it right now? Fine. Drop the unknown ring. No, ID the unknown ring and then drop it. Holy crap, a +7 slang ring. Can I put that in instead of wizardry just now? No. Not really. Well, kind of. A little bit. It's not a good ring for me in the end, given my character, and I'm not going to keep it long term, but just for fun for a little while. Silence, summon butterfly, static discharge, lightning bolt, summon demon. Pretty sure that lightning bolt works fairly well against undead. And for some reason I got summon butterflies instead. Okay. That was not the plan. Not that I object, summon butterflies is useful too. Let's pick up lightning bolt. It's a level 5 spell, so it's a reasonable price point. Multi-hit. which is always nice. As in I can hit multiple enemies with it, not as in it hits multiple times on one enemy, which it also does if you set it up right. Anti-undead, which is the most important factor in its favor. You can drop the Grand Grimoire. I don't think I'll be needing it anytime soon. Animate Dead. Okay, that's a spell I actually really want. How badly do I really want it? Enough to turn on spellcasting to start getting spell levels faster. No. Focus on getting your defenses paid for, and then we'll worry about it. Once I turn off armor, maybe. And I'm turning off armor at 9, I believe, is the cutoff for -1 penalty. I wonder if you get paid per head for Hydras or not. Which wouldn't be a good idea. You don't want to create multiple incentives like that. Why don't you try to cut off its heads and make even more heads? It just opens itself up for being gamed in some way. Oh, where did you come from, psycho? Oh yeah, carry the Hydra flesh out with you. Heal, recover mana, re-enter. Okay, we're not going to be able to come all the way back down here for this later, so... Drop the Wand of Confusion, read the Scroll of Enchant Armor over my hat. Yeah, there's a very good chance that's the hat I end up ending the game with. Okay, armor skill has leveled, can be turned off. Trickle into spellcasting, focus down shields. Because these fail levels are getting acceptable pretty darn fast. Thank God the swamp. You know how enemies typically, or not enemies, you typically take a penalty for standing in shallow water even and trying to do a swipe attack. Ogres are big enough that it doesn't really affect their attack speed or attack accuracy. Though they do still lumber through it. So speed is still affected. Can't afford to do eating, must immediately take advantage of clustering of enemies. And now we can eat. Hit the road, Jack, and don't you come back no more. The road, Jack, don't you come back no more. That came the hell out of nowhere. Let's see. So far, so good. You know, we're actually making reasonable inroads, barring Mennas or some other reason that I have to change my plans. This is we might very well just pick up the Swamp Rune after all. Yeah, ignore that. No, I want that. Fog is a useful ability. And I am taking up that space with the lemon, so let's get rid of the lemon. It is a rare and awesome gift to... Fuck, what just happened? Got lightning bolted and the tree lit on fire behind me. Let's hide again. That was a long enough wait that I wouldn't be surprised to find out somehow enemies had spawned. Ooh, it's Wiglaf. He's a little bit scary, but he also can't deal with flight very well. So let's see if we can't exploit that. First things first, fly. Generate an ice area. Extend the ice area. Back up again. Extend the ice area. And now what are you going to do? He's dead. Told you flight comes in handy. I just effortlessly killed a Dwarven Berserker. The kind of guy who would have charged up to me and been like, now you die. And I'd be like, okay. Oh, fuck, no, he meant it. Lightning Bolt and Secundarin's Mystic Blasts until dead. We are training spellcasting, right? Okay, yeah. That's also going to do a little bit for the hunger, because if level 5 hunger can get a little bit lower, that would be just a convenience. Technically, it's not a power increase, but it's just a convenience to not have to worry as much. 6 teleport charges is plenty. No need to charge that wand. A draining wand is nice to have handy. Do I still need to carry javelins? Yes. Kirari has worked on titans. Okay, but I don't need to carry all these books. You know what? Go back to the main lair. We're gonna drop all the books. Shit. Okay, these bolts of lightning seem to be coming from midair. I'm getting concerned. Maybe it's something I just can't see. I'm gonna switch to a see invisible ring. It is something I can't see. I forgot that vapors are in this game. Well, they're dead now. Jesus, that was painful. That's the wrong button. That's the right button. It's a kill. Come at me, bro. And drop a fire area. Of course, he'll just go around it. Just get me out of here. It's funny, it's like I've cleared all these things and yet it still feels like an uphill battle just to get out of places. Not even sure how useful Anime Dead is going to be in the long run. There's a good chance that by the time I have it up and running and reliable in any way, the number of enemies that leave corpses is going to be drastically reduced. But there's always going to be orcs and yakchwars and such, and draconians, and you know, there's going to be something to provide me with my army of meat bodies, and that's all I need them for, meat bodies. Eat, grab, move on. Drop a zone. Drop a follow-up zone. Just wait for them. And just watch them all freeze to death. Heal. Yeah, people have accused me in the past of why I don't like ice mages. The answer is I do like ice mages. I just don't use them very much because I usually can afford to skip by their benefits and go straight for fire. Not this game. Not this game at all. Huh. My MP is getting pretty close to maxed, actually. We're gonna set ourselves up in a place where they have to step on fire in order to attack. I don't think I'll make... Oh! IMB that explodes will be fantastic against these guys. There you go. Much better. I tend to wait for them to get close enough for me to just reach out and smack them. You know what? I don't need the C Invis right now. Give me the +9 or +7 damage, so that if I do happen to hit, they die instantly. Swap rings are always a cool thing to have available and be messing with. Oh, yeah, forget that. Near starving. Well, there's a hungry ghost. Why not make it official? Okay, and actually starving. Eat yet another ration, which for some reason I have plenty of. Okay, next floor. Hit. Wait for it. Pull. Nothing got pulled. Okay, so the swamp worms aren't going to get pulled. Which is fine, actually. It just means that I'll kill other stuff until they're all that's left. Giant leech has finished leeching. Pull. Blink. IMB a couple times, got them both. 8%, 9% fail is much more acceptable. How's the shields coming? 6.6. If I had no armor, this would have been nullified penalty levels. Okay, get meat. Kill you. Blow you up as well. We're not on the final floor of the swamp yet, so no need to expect full out for broke defense or masses of whatever or Lernaean Hydra to suddenly show up. We're still dealing with the rank and file as far as we're concerned. Drop a ice zone and then another ice zone. Nope, just a couple rocks ought to do the trick. No need to do that. Full wand of teleport. Are you kidding me? Let's teleport myself and then drop N so that I can pick up the unused one. I shouldn't have teleported myself. That was a pointless use of charge. I'm juggling these at this point. I don't need this much food, so drop everything that isn't actively being used. We'll just bring them all into the hot gates, i.e. this narrow passageway, and then they can prove just how great their undead resistances are a square at a time. Or, you know, stand outside like a pussy so that I can shoot them. That works even better. Should not be... No, we're still not got enough spell levels for Animate Dead. Other nice thing about Animate Dead is that I can use it to counteract my enemies who have the same tactic. And you've seen already just how often I was frustrated by a skeletal creature that suddenly, a skeletal warrior that suddenly had multiple allies on him. I'll just bet those shoes were amazing. I bet they were boots of running. Okay. Swamp Drake is down. Grab myself an extra scroll of teleport. And this floor is coming along really nicely. And oh shit. Okay. First things first. Teleport control. Second, blink the hell away. Drop a massive freeze right on where he's coming. Again. And I just spammed Isequinderun's, or not Isequinderun's, the Orb of Destruction repeatedly. I did have poison resistance on, so that wasn't going to be lethal. If it was, I would have, you know, blink, blink, teleport, instead of blink, now stand your ground and fight. But, wow, yeah, sometimes you turn a corner and, there's Izul staring at you and being like, hey, I's your daddy. And it's like, you ain't my daddy, you're a snake. And it's like, yeah, but a snake's your daddy. And I'm like, what? One-eyed trouser snake's your daddy. And this has gone awkward places terribly fast. Anywho, just for the love of God, if you guys are gonna attack, attack. If not, stop being such pansies. Making me wish I could res you and I can't. Actually, now I can. Okay, finished memorizing, not using any kind of wizardry. Spell fail for my critical spells are at 6 and 7 respectively. Shield training will continue apace. Time to raise dead. I actually would have much preferred animate skeleton so that I could eat the meat and raise the dead repeatedly. But this will do for the moment. Just, you know, you've seen how gas hungry this build has been so far. Constantly requiring me to replenish my food stocks. Oh Lord have mercy. That ain't poison, that's acid and poison. You know what? I don't know what else is behind that guy, but I don't trust him anymore. Keep him on the fire while my zombies will hold his ass to the fire, which they did, and let him burn. And yes, I did say fire. I put a fire cloud in the square that he was on. Attempt to animate dead again. Because, yeah, there's plenty of dead inside these pools. And that will give me the alligator flesh I need to eat. Lift the alligator flesh and fly over the pool. I could have sworn I had way more mana at some point. Oh, I was wearing my plus MP invisibility ring, that's why. Okay, blowed you up. Battlestar Smashika. Uh-huh. Drop a fire and just wait. Eat. Okay, let's ice the area. IMB a little bit. And apparently my Hydra got the kill, which sucks. I wanted that kill. Damn credit stealing Jagoff. Alright, that just leaves the last floor of Swamp. And despite the fact that this video has already gotten a bit long, I'm beginning to realize that that's just a given with my Ogre videos at this point. Let's just push onwards. Repel missiles, in we go. Do we have a magic mapping? That'd be nice. Without scrying, I have no way of telling just what awaits me inside that chamber. I assume that it is many, many enemies at once, which means death if I attempt a Spriggan Steel type stunt. Steel as in S-T-E-A-L, not S-T-E-E-L. Spriggan Steel would be an amazing, amazing name for a weapon. Let's get out of here. I recognize that all the other doors were probably in the same area, but I don't know. That's a lot of bolts to be taking at once. Repel missiles. Nope, this one's in a separate area. Excellent. We're just going to cut you down to size, and... Okay, given the 6% 6% fail, I must surmise that I am past the shields penalty at this point, or at least pretty close to past the shields penalty. But we're going to continue training shields up to 9, just to be on the safe side. Also because I would like to eventually wear a large shield. Actually, how much skill does it take to wear a large shield as an ogre? If it's in the 15-ish range, and I have only a -1 to it, that's not an impossibility, is it? Do I have a resist elect tool of some kind that I'm not using? I feel like I did, but... No, I picked up lightning bolt. I have a deal elect, not a resist elect. Let's again drop a zone somewhere where that will deal some more damage. Here. Kill the electric eel that's been causing me so much grief. Notice that I'm definitely keeping my flank clear as much as possible because that exit is my life. If I can't exit from there, I lose everything. I remember playing Crawl back in version 0. I think 3 or 4 for a little while. Brief stint. I was never any good. When it was possible to accidentally walk into deep water, and your character would attempt not to drown. And it's a good thing that the game finally decided to say, "Are you sure you want to kill yourself before you do it?" Or that sounds like a bad idea, but if that's your plan. Okay, alligator died in deep water. The one place I did not want him to die, he's where he did. But this guy had the decency to die in the open and leave me an edible corpse. Not a clean corpse, it was still contaminated, but whatever. Given the number of undead, I'm starting to think that this might be an undead branch ending, where it has a lot of undead creatures and simulacrums and such, rather than something else. Also, spectral warriors show up a lot in those. I could be wrong. It remains to be seen. I haven't actually attempted the... Oh shit, that's not a way out. That's a way to get your ass beat. And that's why I thought all the entrances were in this area, because I did see 3 staircases. Okay, that's an undead of some kind. I'm just gonna punch him until I'm satisfied and then go upstairs. Or until he dies. That certainly brings me satisfaction. Punch me until I get my satisfaction. Pretty sure that's not in the song. Equally sure that this is not a good situation for me. Let's... Oh god, that just became a whole lot worse. Let's fly. And then fly out of here. I can probably kill these guys, but I probably don't want to find out that I was wrong. And I can definitely kill them if I, have good notice and a decent place to do this. Oh, I'm sorry. You're inside an ice zone now. Watch your health drift away, or run. Either way, I win. And if you split into multiple parts, they're all going to be inside the ice zone. So I win anyway. You can tell the shield is working because 6-headed Hydra miss, bites but no damage, blocks miss. I finally have a little bit of defense. I can stand against the Hydra and not die in one shot. Well, not lose half my health in one shot. I guess I always had the health padding for defense. Eat Hydra, drop a little bit of Hydra behind, and then go upstairs and heal. Res dead, just so I have an ally. And drop zones on distant targets immediately. To maximize odds that I actually get to kill them. Okay. Ice barrier. It's not a barrier so much as a... If anything tries to push through, it will die. Blow you up. Blow you up. I want to blow you up. Glowing cloak. I don't know what this cloak does. I'm gonna ID it because I'm a lazy ass. Ha! I have so many sources of poison resistance that that's actually completely superfluous. Alright, I'm actually starving, so ration up. It's my rational response. Okay. I think that we need to take one level in necromancy just to deal with this 47 fail and bring it down to 30 or something ridiculous like that. That first point is pretty easy to get and it's worth a lot of help. Yep, this is definitely an undead branch ending. I'm basing that on the fact that all I see is more undead so far. If I can predict which steps he'll take, I can just keep him inside of fire the whole time until he reaches me. Of course, my ally is equally stupid, so there's that. This is foul pestilence, actually. It's not just gas, so I should be a little bit more careful about how I approach this. Since the rest of the level has already mostly been explored, and there's an exit right behind me, it's time to take this area on. Staying in the shade as much as possible. Putting up a mephitic cloud on my own square, and yep, that has attracted enemies, so perfect. Let's back off, back off. There's no reason to try to multitask here. Rushing in is not going to help. Let's deal as much damage as we can to this area before we kill them. Or before we make our rune run. Okay, let's kill. More phantoms are coming in and my mana is getting a little bit lower, so put up a fire, put up a zone of ice. Let's see how they deal with this combination. And of course we'll focus the phantom that actually reaches me. Okay, that's a lot of phantoms, but I have 204 health. Let's IMB directly into the middle of this cluster. Perfect. Most of them are dead. Now another IMB off to the side and I got them all. And again, more enemies. They must hear the exploding IMBs. It's the best explanation I can come up with. Yeah, I've beaten this kind of dwarf branch ending as a itemless Spriggan. A Spriggan that literally picked up no items the entire game as a wizard. So it does not scare me as much as it ought to. We're just gonna poke these guys until I'm low, and then I'm just gonna go upstairs because only one of them can follow me. And I'm not going low. Wow, it's so surprising that this guy has any defensiveness whatsoever. But I guess it makes sense now that I've finally trained up some defense abilities for him. Probably didn't have to wait this long, in fairness. I just assumed I did because I needed the experience in other... Well, I guess I did need the experience in other categories. Okay, that's a Hydra. No easy way to deal with them. Are they immune to ice or resistant to ice? Resistant. Good. So, drop a zone, drop a zone. No way for the stone not to hit me, huh? Okay. Now drop a zone. Hit him. And lightning bolt time. That was the wrong target. That was the right target. We'll hit him with an axe and finish the job. Slaying on? Put slaying on. Oh, whoops. I just walked straight into a potential miasma. Why would I want to do what? What is that square? Okay, now I'm through. I'm still inside the miasma. Let's get out of here. Just get out of here. There's way more enemies here than I was hoping for. We're gonna hit with a lightning bolt like this, so that it hits the multi-headed guy who's not fun, Hydra. That should hit most of my enemies, not myself. Not really hurt most of my enemies, but that's okay. I really just wanted it for the vampire mosquitoes. And thanks to slaying, I can actually kill these guys with some efficiency. Regenerated most of my MP. What the hell? Big ass blast. And now there's another zombie. Alright, since the hordes seem to be never ending, let's back out. I'm just curious if more enemies have spawned. Nope. So we eat a ration, then we go back in. This area is still secure. Just checking. It wouldn't do to beat my retreat only to find that I've been greeted by something terrifying. Okay. You know exactly how much undead zombies scare me. Undead zombie hydras scare me. Not that much. Enough that I can use my sharp weapon to knock their heads off at melee range without ever attempting anything special. Oh, it's a bone dragon. Those guys are annoying. This is probably going to end up costing me a ration or so, but because yeah, I just used an orb of destruction and barely hurt him. You know what? Rule number 1 of Crawl. I do not have to kill this guy. I'm not gonna. Of course, I do have to blink in the not wrong direction repeatedly. There we go. He's too slow to catch up to me. Okay, unless of course I am... Am I trapped? Holy fuck, I am trapped. Okay. That was not desirable. Let's go ahead and light that forest on fire. Teleport to an even more urgent situation, but not dangerous. No, it suddenly became a shit ton dangerous. Heal wounds. Blink scroll, blink scroll, blink scroll. Ice. I took the situation way too lightly. I should have gone to DEFCON 3 immediately. DEFCON 3, defensive condition 3. Situation super critical. We're just gonna, at this point, we can just chop up his tail. I mean, I have full health. Okay, there is a bone dragon in an isolated segment of forest that I somehow managed to lock myself into but didn't know was there the first time. The fuck? As long as we can keep him there, I'll be happy. Because then he won't bother me and I won't bother him, we'll be fine. Using the Mephitic Cloud to force the pestilent clouds out of certain squares so that I can cross. Now that I'm here, I'm fairly confident that there's going to be a whole fresh set of attacks. I was in the pestilence for at least one turn, and hence the -1 to my max HP. But it's not as bad as it could have been otherwise. Alright, and the rune has already been taken by a different adventurer. Nah, I'm just fucking with you, it's on the other side. Bread ration. And the bread ration may have been a bit of overkill given that this is all that is left of the retinue. That's almost everything dead. That's everything dead. Great. This is a travel excluded area for the same reasons as before. We are going to use Mephitic Cloud to try to increase my ability to get in and out. I only was hit by for one turn and I got a slow. Not bad for miasma. There is some gold there, not enough to make me want to learn apportation, so teleport away and then let us get out of the swamp with our successful rune. No, wrong door. The door to Trog. Trog door! Wait. Oh, it wasn't disconnected? There was a way around, I just didn't see it. Fuck. Whatever. Let's just get out of here now. Going slow moving through the water while a bone dragon chases me down would not have been smart anyway. Alright, let's take stock of the situation. After leaving the swamp, necromancy was overtrained. Spellcasting levels are back to where I wanted them to be. In fact, freezing cloud is a little bit better. Lightning bolt hunger is down to 2 pips. Shields are trained and active, which is great. We will continue to trickle into them from now on. I actually don't need more health, ironically. We're going to flip on traps and doors for a little while, just to give myself a fighting chance, or a lucky chance to detect those. We'll ditch these scrolls here for now, since I am not wearing anything that's a must enchant. Yeah. Nothing else to add, really. So, that was a successful run. Thank you all for watching, and I will see you guys next time.